Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 22 of What If Naruto was exiled from the Otsutsuki clan. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was broken by the people that he loved over an Anime King. And enjoy that guys. And stay tuned for a brand new episode coming over Anime King 2. And yes, if you're new, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King 2, and Making 3, which I indeed post what if fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, Teiwai woke up as she came face to face with Urza, who told her that she's her daughter now. She basically adopted her to be her guardian. Teiwai was confused by all of this, as she didn't know what kind of freaky stuff this woman was in. But Urza told her it's not like that. She saw something in her, a fire that she liked, and she was gonna take her under her wing and train her, turn her into her subordinate, her little protege. As Teiwai was taken aback by all of this, Urza told her not to leave or she will punish her. As Teiwai was a bit frightened when she felt this ominous feeling coming from the woman. After she was gone, Minma arrived, as he said hello to her. Teiwai sighed in annoyance. Just what the hell has she gotten herself into? Meanwhile, Naruto and Urza made their way. A few minutes earlier, as Katsumi, real name was Mito, unknown by her, was currently talking to her father. As something happened as a seal on her arm came on the ground as it spread and Naruto and Urza appeared. The masked man tried to flee but Naruto grabbed him with chains, golden chains that lock him in place. As Naruto's chains stabbed chakra into his system, forcing him to stay in one place, as he could not use the ability at all. With that, Naruto spoke, as he had went into the mind of Kushina, the Edo Tensei, as he saw the memories, as he showed them to Mito. Her real name was actually Mito. As she looked towards her father for explanation, she cried, but he couldn't give her any. He kept on saying it was a lie, but she couldn't understand why this feeling felt so familiar. As Naruto's chakra, everything about it, everything started to make sense. She ran away after her explosion went off. Zetsu had used the explosion on the ground to free the man who revealed himself to be Eren Uchiha, son of Mother Uchiha. As Naruto was surprised by that, but he knew that this man was gonna try everything that he could to harm his family, so he was gonna kill him, but he used the ability to project himself away with his monkey Sharingan, literally vanishing out of view. As Mito went to the cave as she cried, she came to a nearby cave as she hid there in the cold snow. As she started to freeze herself to death, but she wouldn't move as she was just alone, afraid, and she didn't know what to do anymore. Before she passed out though, she saw something land in front of her vision, and she went unconscious. As for the masked man, now known as Eren Uchiha, he made his way towards Nagato and told him that it was time. It was time that they kill the rightful god. The man was gonna sacrifice Nagato. He just needed the opening to end Naruto's life. While Nagato was distracting him with his paths, he used that opening to kill him. As for Momoshiki's whole reason why he hated Naruto came to the front, as he was so pissed off. He had his spies, and they came back to him and they told him about the uprising, that there was some rumors about him being dethroned by someone, but his spies was named with a name. Momoshiki told them to bring him the person that was spreading these rumors. As they went off, He was gonna find where Naruto was because he knew that Naruto was the man behind this, and he was gonna kill him once and for all. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the place of yourself, so this to begin this new episode. We begin this new episode at Konoha. Something was wrong. Really wrong. Thunder and lightning raged through the sky. This was not any normal storm. The thunder was literally deafening. Lightning screeched across the sky. Like a tidal wave, it just screeched. It went on for a long while before completely stopping. It then started up again. Lightning strike came down the forest and decimated the area. The whole village was on panic. At the hospital, a nurse was quickly making her way towards her room. The moment she pushed open the door and entered, there was hundreds of civilians, all of them unconscious. The nurse moved forward only for her to fall as she was caught by Snavy. Snavy looked down towards the nurse in her arm. As Snavy looked around, what the hell is going on? Before she could think about what was going on, the door opened up to show Harrison. With a concerned, confused look on his face, Snavy, what's happening? He said. People all over Konoha was falling unconscious. Harrison could feel it. There was this unsettling feeling in the air. A feeling that was knocking out civilians one after another. A few Genins had been knocked unconscious as well. The more expert Chunins and Jonins ready to keep themselves stable. Snavy couldn't find the reason or the cause, but something was in the air, something was causing all of this. It just happened so suddenly, and she didn't know what was causing it. A thought then came to her mind. Did Naruto come back to the village, she asked. As Harrison looked towards her. I'm afraid I don't know, he said. You know him. I don't really know if he's here or not. Snavy called over two of her best medics, told them to keep things under control as she rushed away, leaving Harrison in her wake. She quickly went towards Tenju compound. The moment Snavy arrived, she stopped as she tried to catch her breath. A feeling of dread watched over her. Her mind was forcefully shutting down. Before she reached the door though, it snapped open as Ursa stood there. Snavy? Ursa blinked as she looked towards the woman condition. What's wrong? Someone else rushed through the gate. Bachan. Auntie Ursa, what's going on? Sasuke and Hinata fell unconscious. Almost everyone in the village is dropping, as he then started to fall as well. But he was caught by Snavy. As his head felt woozy, he shook his head as he refocused. Ursa was shocked. She never knew it was this bad. She rushed inside rather quickly, as she quickly made her way towards the room where Mito was. The girl was asleep. She was still unconscious, but she was fine. But she was not the one causing this, as she quickly exited that room and rushed out, quickly making her way towards the last room. When she arrived at the door, she felt it, even her, was getting a bit on edge at this. She kicked her way inside. Sorry about this. She released 3 crystal balls from her palm, as they encircled Naruto, and threw him in the spear that he was in. He broke through the wall, completely tearing it down in her spear, as he was thrown straight out of Konoha, crashing somewhere in the land of fire. Once he was gone, the pressure started to lighten up, as people started to slowly wake up. Luckily, their mind hadn't been pushed into so much submission to completely damage them. Ursa released a sigh of relief. She didn't know that it had affected them so badly. She was feeling it, but it wasn't that damaging to her, because she was used to him getting angry most times, but this was different. That even got her screaming and squirming a bit. She went to check up on Mito, who was still fine. Luckily, the girl had been unconscious the whole time, so it didn't really affect her. As Snavy rushed in the room, what happened? As she looked towards a gaping hole. Everyone's gonna be okay now. I'll be right back. She flew off without giving an answer, leaving them wondering what the hell was going on. Meanwhile, in the forest, a distance away from Konoha, as Naruto was just sitting there, he was lost in his thoughts. He wasn't even aware that he was releasing so much pressure in the village. Someone crash landed right in front of him. Hey! Idiot! Snap out of it! As he focused his eyes on Urza, who stood in front of him, with her hands on her hips. You know, a bit longer, and he would have killed most people in Konoha. As Naruto blinked at her words. What? What are you talking about? You don't even notice, do you? She said. Huh? Said Naruto, confused. She narrowed her eyes at him. You're too repressed, she said. So much so that you don't even notice that your power was leaking out in such quantity. You were putting people to sleep. If it had dragged on for too long, you would have put them in a coma and eventually killed them. As Naruto got to his feet. Did you even notice me throwing you out here? She asked. As everything was just a vague blur to him, as he stood up. Sorry, he said as he shook his head, as he focused on her. What happened? We found her. She's okay now. Why are you so angry? We're gonna find him and he's gonna pay for what he did for taking your granddaughter, but he killed Kushina, said Naruto. I know I'm gonna rip him apart, said Naruto, but that's not it. As she saw the sweat on his forehead, something that got him panicking, something that got him frustrated, something that got him angry. Naruto, she said, sitting in front of him, as she pulled him down to the ground. Talk to me. What's wrong? You need to sort this out. You're so tensed up, your power is leaking, without your consent. I didn't even notice at first. I'm used to your bloodlust. But, as she looked towards her hand, it got me shaking. I know you want him dead, but that can't be the reason why you're so angry, can it? No, that's not it alone, said Naruto. I know where he is. My chakra. When I inject him with my chains, I can trail my chakra to any ends of this earth, but that's not the point. Something, whatever it is, caused that explosion. The one that caused him to escape. Why didn't you go after him? Yes, he's fast, he can move and teleport or what, but there's no way that he can outpace you. Something stopped me, said Naruto. What? I felt it. Felt what? She asked. My mother. As she blinked in confusion. Your mother? Years ago, when the Uzumakis were wiped out, I felt the residual chakra of my mother. I thought I was going crazy because I had just lost so much people I care about, and it vanished a second later. But today, I felt it once again. Whatever it was, it caused the explosion to allow that mad Eren Uchiha to escape. My mother had a hand in this somehow. Even with the extermination of the Uzumaki, as the era started to ripple around him. And that's not all. The trees started to twist and bend as they caught on fire. The sky itself started to tremble. Lightning shock started to decimate the air around him. That man, Eren Uchiha, once my chakra made contact with his, I sense another chakra inside of him, a power that I'm all too familiar with. As Naruto got to his feet, as Urza had to forcefully stand where she was or threaten being blown away. Naruto, calm down, she said, as he was decimating the land of fire with his presence alone. Ishiki! Naruto roared to the heavens as a thunderous blast of chakra went off. A far distance away, a pair of eyes slowly opened as black eyes surveyed the room that he was in. This man sitting down was none other than the man himself, Ishiki Otsutsuki. As black eyes surveyed the room, as a small smirk came on his face. Meanwhile, as Urza looked around, the entire era had been wiped away, leaving nothing but dust and debris. As she looked towards Naruto with shock on her face, she knew that he had gotten powerful, but this was just ridiculous. Just a single outburst cause mass, natural area chaos. And he wasn't really trying. It was just him getting angry. Not to mention, this was not everything he had to put on the table. As she saw Naruto with his fist clench, she walked up to him. She did not understand. Naruto, I don't understand. What does your parents have to do with this? As Naruto turned towards her, seeming to have calmed down now. He took a breath, several indeed. My parents. Somehow, they're behind this. My father. His power, I felt it. The moment my chains start to circle around. Eren. I thought I was just hallucinating or something. But when that explosion went off on my chakra, fully slipped into his system, I felt the link. And I only felt that chakra one place before, in the past, from my father, said Naruto. He's doing this. I don't know what he's doing with Eren, but he's somehow involved. And my mother, that bitch, said Naruto as he clenched his fists. What she's done. She's somehow involved in the massacre of the Uzumakis. But then I thought I was just going crazy. Because my mother was gone. She wasn't on Earth. So I forget about it. I thought I was just being delusional. But this chakra that I felt today is the same. It's the same chakra. As she placed a hand on his shoulder. Calm down, she said. Let's talk about this. Let's try to understand what the hell is going on. As Naruto took several deep breaths, he was too riled up. As she looked towards him with a worried gaze, as she realized something, Naruto never expressed that depth of sadness and rage. Yes, he killed a lot. He went on a mass killing. He then trained for the past couple of years intensely. But she always knew that there was regret there. A lot of it. Regret for the people that he left on Earth. Regret for not knowing Kushner. Could all of that been building up from the beginning? Could he have not released that? As she was worried. If that was the case, he was basically a ticking time bomb. And it wouldn't be good for anyone. As Naruto calmed himself enough to be rational. Several deep breaths later, he was sitting back down. I'm not mistaken, Urza, he said. It's him. And that woman. I'll find them. And I'll rip them to pieces, he said. She grabbed him. Calm down, damn it, she said. Look, I know you're angry, but remember, we just got Mito back. Your granddaughter is here. Her mother told you to take care of her. Watch over her and protect her. Are you really gonna disobey her last wish? You're her father. I know, but no buts. Just calm down for now. We'll find them. If they're here on this planet, we'll find them. They can hide, but not for too long. So just calm down for now. As she watched as he started to fully calm down. Alright, I'm calm, he said. Are you? Really? It's good enough, said Naruto. Come on, let's get back to the village. She looked over him. Are you sure? You realize that you almost kill a lot of people, right? In a village that you, well, kind of like. I know, said Naruto, but I'm calm. Alright, fine, she said. As the both of them made their way back to the village. Arriving there, Tsunade was waiting on them. As she had already checked over the patient in the hospital. And all of them were free to go. There wasn't anything physically wrong with them, or mentally. Somehow their brain just shut down. What the hell happened? Where's Menma, said Naruto. He's out, checking on Sasuke and Hinata. They're fine, by the way. As Naruto sighed in relief. What were you doing? Ursa walked over. As she walked Tsunade out of the room. As she explained to her. As Naruto sat down, Ursa came back a moment later. Hey, where's the girl that you adopted? She's talking with some ninjas of this village. She has quite a lot of information about Orochimaru labs. And there's a few innocent people there that doesn't deserve to be locked up. And she's sharing that information. The Hokage of this village, Yugo Man, wants to erase every trace of Orochimaru, so I guess he's gonna destroy those labs afterwards. Oh, and good news. There's another Uzumaki. What? Said Naruto. Yeah, her name is Karen Uzumaki. TY doesn't know that much about her, but she's a, well, nerd, she said. A lab freak. Where is she? She's giving them all of the information, so just relax. We can go find her later if you want. But just calm down now. You're too pent up and angry. How is Mito? Said Naruto. She's still out. I had Snatty place her into an induced coma to relax. For her mind to adjust to everything that happened. You know how violent we tend to get when we're upset, giving you just nearly kill everyone. Can we drop that now? Said Naruto. No, it was stupid of you to get angry in the village, knowing how goddamn powerful you are. You know it could have been a lot worse if I had acted sooner. Sometimes I just forget how weak the humans on this planet are. As Naruto sat there, as Urza sat down beside him, we will find them. But getting angry is not going to solve anything. Go. Go and be with Mikoto. As Naruto turned towards her. I know there's some things that you can't let go, but you need to be calm for now. And she seemed to be able to calm you down rather quickly. So go on. The moment she wakes up, I'll call you, I promise. As she pushed him out of the chair, Naruto sighed in annoyance. Fine, he said. As he walked away, he had to clear his mind in his head. Because if what he was thinking was true, if somehow his mother had somehow done something for Uza destruction, because he knew that he felt that chakra back then, but he didn't. He didn't realize because he thought that he was just going mad because he was so angry. And now his father, as he started to think about the past, as he remembered, as the Sage of Six Paths, that name, that Otsutsuki that he never knew. Did his mother or father had children? So they had other kids. The Sage of Six Paths, Hagromo, that the fox told him about with their kid. After abandoning him and leaving him to his fate, they left and went to have other children. That just made him hate them even more. And he will find them, and he will end them with his bare hands. Time skip. Mikoto was indeed able to calm Naruto down. When he came back, Urza no longer saw the stress on his shoulders. He had completely calmed himself for the moment. Well, she understood what happened, as it made her laugh. Anytime he get riled up now, she would just throw him towards Mikoto, or bring Mikoto over here. That should calm him down. It's not so funny, said Naruto, as Urza simply chuckled. The both of them were sitting down, in the room. Snatty came in along with Menma, as Menma looked towards the sleeping Mito. As Naruto turned his head towards Snatty, who came over, as she checked the girl. Her body is stable, said Snatty. When Mito had just arrived, her body was okay, but her mind was, well, seemed to be overworking, probably thinking about all the information that she just gathered. So Snatty had put her in an induced coma. As Naruto gave her a nod as she waked the girl. A few seconds it took, as Mito slowly opened her eyes. As she took in the light around the room, the first thing she saw was a white ceiling. She lay there unmoving. Truthfully, her mind was different. So was any other Otsutsuki's while they were unconscious or forcefully put to sleep. She was able to access a part of her mind where she was awake. And in there she was able to view everything that happened so far. And her mind was still plagued by everything. 13 years. 13 years that man pretended to be her father. She had begged, she had cried out to him to tell her that they were wrong, that they were lying, that they were trying to use her, but he didn't. He didn't say a single thing. Tears came to her eyes. He might have been stubborn. He might have been harsh. He might have been rough and always tell her to train and not focus about people or care much about people. She wanted to make friends. She wanted to have a real father, but he was always rough. She was growing that way. She was told to fight and kill her enemies, but she never saw a reason for death. People had a right to live as well. And he was always angry when she go against his philosophies. He was so angry, so pissed at her. And she couldn't actually run away from him, because without him she would have no one left. He had made that abundantly clear. She would have no family, no one. No one to look out for her. She would be an orphan on her own, and eventually she would die out there. The world is a wicked, cruel, horrible place, he told her, and without him she would die. Tears ran down the side of her face, and she still couldn't understand why. Why would someone do this? How could someone actually do this to someone? Even after hearing his lies about Konoha, killing her mother, making her hate the village so much. But the people here were nice, they were generous. And she cried. She cried, tears sweeping over her eyes, running down her side of her face, soaking the bed. It was then that she caught movement. She knew that they were there, but she was just afraid. She felt alone. It was then that she felt the warming feeling that covered her like a blanket. As she slowly turned her head to look at the wrathful god, as his eyes locked with hers. "Are you okay?" he asked. His voice was so gentle and smooth. "Why did you save me?" she said to him. "Because your family," said Naruto. "You're supposed to be evil. After what you did to those 3 nations. Minma blinked at that, confused. What was she talking about? As Naruto lowered his head at that, "I heard why you did it. They took your family away from you. The Uzumaki clan, wasn't it? They wiped them out." As Naruto nodded, "And they took all of them while you were not there. So you got angry and you got revenge." Naruto nodded. "I have no excuse for my past actions. As you said, I was angry. In that state of rage, I couldn't control myself." "I know what you must think," said Naruto. "But as I said, your family. It doesn't matter what you think of me. It doesn't matter if you hate me, despise me. Your family. And I'll love you no matter what." As more tears streamed down her face. "Why? I'm useless. I'm nothing. I have no one." "That's wrong." As she turned her head. "You have we. What Gigi said, your family. And we will never leave you alone," said Minma. As she turned her head back towards Naruto. I just don't know," she said. "Why would he lie to me like that? He was supposed to be my father. But after what you showed me, I always knew that there was something weird between me and him, and you as well. Your chakra, it felt so powerful, but at the same time so warm. Like it's a blanket to comfort me in. I always wonder why." And he, as she looked towards Minma, were similar in more ways than one. Our power is the exact same. But I refuse to believe it because he told me that you were a liar. He told me that you just want me for my power. And then you show me that I just don't know." As she started to cry even more, until Naruto placed a hand on her shoulder as she opened back her eyes. "Take all the time that you want. We'll be here waiting, all of us." "Yeah, we will," said Minma as he stepped beside Naruto. "It doesn't matter how long you take." She nodded. Can I get some privacy?" she asked. As they nodded. As they left the room, she was left there alone by herself. They just left her alone. What if she decided to run away? Why were they just allowing her to do as she pleased? Did they trust her that much? Why would they trust her? They just met her. Why were these people so kind? She didn't understand. Did they really love her, or were they just gonna use her like everyone else? Like her father used her like a puppet. She was so angry. But they were different. As she fully lay back down in the bed, unsure what to think, unsure what to do. Time skip. Minma knocked at the door. It's open. As he slowly pushed open the door and entered, There she was sitting down, as Menma smiled at her. "Hey, E," he said. As she looked up towards him, he had a plate in his hand, along with a glass of orange juice, egg, bacon, and toast. "You must be hungry," he said as he gave her the plate. As she took it slowly and placed it on the nightstand, she took the orange juice and placed it down as well. "Huh? Aren't you hungry?" As she looked up at him, she just couldn't understand. She was gone for almost all of her life, and yet they were just welcoming her into their family like that. She didn't understand why they were just so... "What's wrong?" said Menma. "Why are you people so kind? You don't even know me. What if I'm just acting like I'm defenseless and actually working for my father to take you people down? Why would you trust me like that?" He sat down on the bed. "Not sure," he said. "But you see, I have this sense about certain people, and it's going off a lot on you." She tilted her head confused. "What do you mean by that?" "Well, simple. It tells me to trust you. I don't know why, but my senses tell me to trust you because, well, you're my sister," he said. "I've always wanted a sister, or a brother. Anyone would do. For the first part of my life, without my Jiji, I had people. Rain-chan. There was Kakashi. There was the old man. There was the Ichiraku family. And there was Mikoto-san. And Sasuke. But I never really had any blood family until Jiji came. And he took care of me. And I was so happy. For a long while. And I'm sorry that you missed out on that when you were younger as well. If he would have known, he would have taken you a lot sooner. And I would have a sister a lot sooner." She sighed. "None of us knew. It doesn't matter what that man did or said. You are my sister. And nothing in the world will change that. And I just know that you will never do anything to betray me." "Why? How could you know that?" "It's just a feeling I get. And it tells me that you're nice. You know, you shouldn't be so quick to trust people. I mean, some people are really bad," she said. "Yeah, but you're not." She sighed. "And how do you know that?" she said. He simply shrugged. He didn't really know, as that made her chuckle. Her stomach then rumbled as she looked down. "Huh, guess I am hungry," she said, as she reached for the plate. She looked at the food before she dived in. They were doing well so far, why would they poison her? But the thought running in her mind of how she was raised though. "Did you make this?" she said. "Nope. Auntie Ursa made it. She's a wonderful cook. Not as good as Jiji, but wonderful." "Speaking of your Jiji, where is he?" "Oh, he went out. He'll be back soon." "What is he doing?" "Well, there are some people from our clan that he went out to bring back to the village." "People from our clan?" "Yes, the Uzumaki clan." Can I ask you something?" "Sure. When you say that Jiji, destroyed 3 nations, what do you mean by that?" She blinked. "Huh? You don't know?" "About him being the rightful god," she said. "The rightful..." Minma paused. As you remember hearing that, there was this powerful being a long time ago that had wiped out the 3 nations that were once standing tall with the hidden leaf and the sand. A look of panic swept over his face. "Wait, what? Gigi was the one that did that? How couldn't you have known that? I never..." Menma was surprised. "Do you trust him?" asked. "Me too. Of course, with my life." "Well, you shouldn't feel any way about what he did. But those villages, they had innocent people, didn't they?" "Yes, they had. And he killed them all? Every single one of them." "But why would he do that?" "Because they wronged him. You know that your clan is now gone, right? The Uzumaki clan. Yeah, they were killed. Well, your grandfather warned them not to come after those clan. But despite his warnings, those three nations came after them. And they killed everyone. They killed his wife. Well, that was what everyone thought happened. But actually, she escaped. Well, she was brought somewhere and saved by some people. It is because of those people why you're even here. His wife gave birth to your mother, who gave birth to us, I guess. So Gigi wiped out all of them. Every single last one of them. They deserved it. What? But some of them were. Their village was evil. He warned them, remember? But their Kagis decided to go up against him. I don't blame him. You should not. After all, you love him, right? And you trust him, so why? Would you blame him for something that you just find out? Well, I don't really, said Minma, but I'm just surprised that this happened. I still love my Gigi. I mean, he's my family. Just like you are. Well, think about it. If you had a whole big village like this, and it was exterminated down to the last man, leaving you alone, would you be calm? He clenched his fists. I would be angry. If you lost all of your precious people, would you just let it slide? Of course not. Wouldn't you want revenge? Of course I would, said Minma. Wouldn't you want him to pay? Of course I would, he said, as his eyes flashed red. Before he calmed down, you felt that rage, right? Minma looked towards his palms. Yeah. Now you understand how your grandfather must have felt. He was angry. He was upset. So he retaliated. Time skip. And here it is, said Naruto. As he was in front of the Senju compound, there was a girl beside him. She was around Minma's age or a bit older, probably 2 or 3 years. So this is home. Yep, said Naruto. The girl name was Karen Uzumaki. She had red hair, glasses. As she looked around, Karen knew her mother. Karen's life wasn't so, well, wonderful. Her mother had been a Uzumaki. She had a special chakra that allowed her to heal people when they bit her. Her mother had always told her about the Uzumakis that were wiped out, and that some of them were still out there because some of the wandering clans had went off. Her mother was a part of the wandering faction, so was her father, and they had settled down in the hidden grass village. When her father died, her mother was targeted. Somehow, they were able to figure out that she was special, given that her father was working as a grass shinobi. Well, more like he provided seals to help the village in the land of grass. In doing so, her mother's ability was exposed when they were once attacked. When one of the nations tried to invade grass, and she had healed her husband. He had died later on from another random attack. It was a war period. Chaos and destruction was all around. Even when the war was over, there was still destruction. Smaller minor nations. Her mother was targeted, and she was forced to watch as her mother was used, powerless to do anything. Her mother had died because they had sucked her so dry. She didn't have enough chocolate to live. She was being used as well, until Orochimaru. He had saved her. She was grateful for the man at first, but she then realized that he just used her. He experimented on her. He tested on her. He used her blood for various different things. He tried to be nice by giving her a lab, saying that she would become his assistant to change his world for the better. She just had to study and look towards innovation of changing this world, and she believed him. So she followed along with everything that he said, and she did everything that he said, but she always yearned for a family. This man, his chakra was so immense she almost passed out because she was a good sensor. Luckily, he made it somehow warm, or probably it was because he was so nice and generous. The sound shinobis that were there tried to release all of the cursed mark creatures on him. She didn't know why, but she felt strange. She had to stop it. She had tried, but she was slapped away by one of them. Orochimaru was rumored to be dead because he was just gone. He hasn't shown up for a long time now. But this man, she didn't know how he was so strong. He annihilated them with one attack. And he offered her a home. As she looked up towards him, she lifted her glass and wiped away the tears. She always wanted a family. As he brought her inside, as she looked around the large manor, as she saw two people, Naruto was surprised when he saw Mito and Menma walking. As he smiled, seeing her on her feet, Menma saw him as Menma ran up to him and hugged him. As Naruto patted him on the head, surprised by the hug. You were hurting. I understand, Gigi. And even after what you did, it doesn't change my opinion of you. I still love you, he said. I'm gonna show my sister on the compound, okay? Naruto nodded, confused what he was talking about. Oh, this is Karen Uzumaki. You phoned her. As Menma walked up to her, he held out his hand. Nice to meet you. I'm Menma Namikaze Uzumaki, he said. You're Uzumaki too? She reached out and touched his blonde hair. Well, you certainly don't have the looks. But I am. And you said that your sister, so she's a Uzumaki as well. Her hair is not red either. They're not full Uzumaki, said Naruto, they're half. They get their hair from their father. Oh, that makes sense. Well, it's nice to meet you, said Karen. As she extended her hand, there was just pure love and joy coming from this boy. Instead of shaking her hand, he pulled her into a hug. I'm so happy you're here, he said. Come on, I'll show you around too, he said, as he took her hand and dragged her away. As she looked towards him surprised, but she let him drag her. As Mito simply smiled at Karen. He's a goofball, but he's nice. She turned towards Naruto. We'll talk later, okay? As Naruto nodded. Alright. See you later, See you later, she said. She almost said Gigi. She quickly made her way off. As Naruto smiled, he then flashed away. There was someone that he got to get. As Naruto arrived in front of the Haiga compound, the guards narrowed their eyes at him. How may we help you, they said, seeing his Byakugan eyes. But he was not a member of the clan. The elders were angry that they could not restrain branch members. Well, they should know what they were messing with. Hayashi had warned them not to do anything stupid. Well, they wouldn't. As Naruto looked towards him, I'm here to see my student, Hinata, he said. One moment, one of the guards says, he meets me off. He arrived a few minutes later, as they opened the gate, as Naruto stepped inside. He already knew the way, but they still led him. As he arrived towards the dojo, as he saw Hayashi standing there, as Naruto paused, when he saw Neji and Hinata, the both of them were sparring, but he couldn't sense any malice from Neji. It seems like Hinata's words really changed him a lot. Her simple words and probably her defeat, where she showed him that he can break his feet, changed him. Hinata still had the upper hand. Her training had paid off greatly, as some of the other elders are there, watching the match, with frowns on their faces. They disliked Hinata a lot. They thought that she was weak and pathetic at first, just because she was getting stronger now. They had already deemed her not worthy. As Naruto paused when he saw the other small child outside, who was frowning. As he stooped down beside her, she almost jumped. You okay? He asked, as Hanabi turned her head towards him. Hanabi gave him a small smile. She knew him. He was incredibly nice. He was her sister's sensei. She loved her big sister very much. She never wanted to fight or hurt her sister. Her sister never wanted to hurt her either. Know that her sister was a lot stronger, she didn't have to fight her anymore. And she was so happy for that. But, well, it was hard for her sister to spend time with her, given the fact that she was always busy. If it wasn't, well, missions, she was talking to the elders and having meetings. Her sister was the ear of the clan. Oh, I'm okay, said Hanabi. As it broke Naruto's heart seeing the small child look inside. She was just so cute, and seeing that frown in her face. "Oh, I know," said Naruto as he held out his hand. As she looked into his palm and saw nothing, the next moment he closed and opened it. Sweets appear. Whoa, how did you... As she activated her Byakugan to look at his hand, but she saw nothing. How did you... What did you do, she said. Magic, he said, as he gave her them. She tucked it away for later. Are you here for my sister, she said. Yes, I have some people I wanted to meet, said Naruto. Can I come along? I don't see why not, said Naruto as he picked her up. She giggled a bit at that. What was she doing? She couldn't act this way in front of her father. And he was right there. She was surprised that her father did not notice her yet. Or did he already notice her with his Byakugan? And he was pretending not to. She had gotten caught up in the moment. As she tried to get down, but Naruto looked towards her. It's okay. As he walked with her, he stopped right beside Hayashi. As she stood there with a stone face, afraid to turn her head. The match finally came to an end, as it was a draw, given the fact that none of them pushed each other to submit, while Hinata seemed to be holding back. But despite that, Neji smiled. You've gotten a lot stronger, Hinata-sama, he said. Don't count yourself short, Neji, she said. You're a lot stronger as well, and you're faster than me now. Hinata turned. Naruto-sensei, she said, as Neji looked towards Naruto and greeted him with a bow. As Naruto greeted the boy back. He's changed a lot. Would you mind excusing Hinata, said Naruto. He wasn't looking at the elders. There's something I want her to do. Is this training related? She's currently busy at the moment, as you can see. Regardless of that, she didn't get stronger on your training, said Naruto. So I suggest you just take my word for it. Hayashi simply narrowed his eyes. As Hinata came over, I'll get washed up, Naruto-sensei, she said. As she ignored the elders, she looked towards her father, who simply gave her a nod. Don't worry, I'll just play with little Hanabi-chan here. You are already training one of my daughters, and breaking several rules to do as you please. I suggest you don't interfere with my other daughter. Naruto placed Hanabi down, as he told her to give him a mint. She nodded as she stepped away. Naruto grabbed Hayashi's hand. The man was appalled by the action, but he was yanked, as Naruto ignored the elders. Why are you doing this, said Naruto, as he brought the man a distance away. He turned his back, as Naruto released a pulse of his chakra. The elders tried to activate their Byakugan, but they couldn't see a damn thing. They could not read their lips. What the hell? As Naruto chakra was blocking their vision. What? Said Hayashi. I always knew that there was something off about you, said Naruto. You're always telling half-truth. I can see that you care about your daughters very well, but yet you're just this stick in the mud, treating them like they're soldiers, except they're your daughters. I had a daughter once, and I didn't get to know her. I suggest you stop treating your kids this way. You will regret it later on, when you're old, when you have no one at your side. Hayashi clenched his fists. You don't understand, he said. Things are not as civil as they seem. Things I cannot speak about here. You can talk, said Naruto. They can't read your lips. I'm preventing that. What? I'm blocking their Byakugan sight. I know 10 times more about the Byakugan than they do. So talk. I can feel it. You're hesitant. Your regret. Why are you doing this despite not wanting to do it? Hayashi sighed as he looked around. He watched his daughter over to the side, as little Hanabi was just looking around. She looked towards her father with narrowed eyes before turning away quickly. She was afraid of him, as that pained his heart. Are you sure that we cannot be seen? As Naruto nodded. Time skip. Naruto had introduced Hanabi and Hinata to his new family members. Well, Hinata already knew Mito, so they got along well. But she was surprised that he was, well, her grandfather as well, and that she was Minma's sister. But they did get along well. At the moment though, Naruto was going towards the hidden rain. He was gonna end this once and for all. Urza told him to do what he had to do, to take the weight off his shoulders. But if he's gonna go up against Otsutsuki, he need to call her. especially if it's his father. He will. But first thing first, Eren had to die. Naruto was incredibly angry. After all, this man was the one that took Kushina away. But his father chakra was somehow mixed with Eren's a bit. He didn't have his father abilities or anything like that. It was just something was there. He didn't know why. What his father was doing with Eren or what the hell was going on. But he was damn sure that his father was on this planet and he was blocking him somehow. If he was here, he couldn't sense him at all. Ursa was a better senser than him and she could not sense his father. But he will find him. Before Naruto arrived at the Hidden Ring though, papers started to form in front of him. As Naruto saw that it was a clone. We need to talk. It was Konan. As she looked worried. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted about more. For now, see you guys soon. Peace.